From the highly controversial JFK Files to the centuries-old debate of Mary Magdalene and more, check out some of these fascinating mysteries of forbidden history. Number 7. The JFK Files. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, U.S. secret agencies began documenting thousands of files related to the act and the Kennedy administration. These files are directly linked to President John F. Kennedy and his assassination, and they've been kept secret by the government for decades, which, of course, fuels all kinds of insane conspiracy theories. There are more than 35,000 documents inside the JFK files so far as we know, and this information has never been seen by the public. Several collections of them have been released over the years, but they seem to be carefully selected from the rest and highly edited, meaning they didn't give any valuable information. The JFK Records Collection Act was passed in 1992. This new act claimed that all of the JFK files were to be released to the public within 25 years. This was set to happen under the presidency of Donald Trump, but it didn't happen. The public waited, in compliance with the deadline set, and for evidence to be revealed. But anything interesting was again held back. There's a rule that if any shocking information could potentially pose a national security threat, that information can be kept from the public. And even after all these years, President Donald Trump pushed the unfiltered release of the JFK files to October 26, 2021. It won't be long now until everyone knows the truth. Or maybe the government will find a way around it again. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Number 6. The mysterious disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. James Riddle Hoffa was one of the most famous American labor union leaders the country had ever seen. He served as the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, IBT, from 1957 until 1971, playing a significant role in the growth of union culture in the U.S. that saw over 2.3 million members. During his tenure, he was convicted of multiple crimes, including attempted bribery, jury tampering, conspiracy and mail and wire fraud. On July 30th, 1975, Hoffa went to a restaurant in Bloomingfield Township. He called his wife Josephine from a payphone to say that the guys he was meeting, 2 members of the mob, stood him up. After that, he was never seen again. A massive search organized by police and forensic anthropologists was unsuccessful in locating Hoffa. While he was presumed to be killed, the location of his body and the identity of his killer have always remained a mystery. A popular theory went on to indicate Hoffa's body was buried beneath the Giants Stadium in New Jersey, but that was debunked. In 2006, Richard the Iceman Kuklinski, a hitman for the mob, claimed before dying that he had killed Hoffa and dumped his body in a junkyard. Although that revelation became part of a book based on Kuklinski's confessions by author Philip Carlo, who visited Kuklinski in prison, several police officials highly doubt this, though, and think he just wanted the credit. But the truth is, anyone who would really know anything about where he is buried or where he disappeared to is now deceased. The case of Jimmy Hoffa attracted new attention after the film The Irishman by Martin Scorsese that was released in 2019. While many experts tore it apart, the fact that it generated new tips cannot be denied. Since the day he disappeared, millions of dollars and thousands of man-hours have been put in trying to analyze tips and searches to crack the mysterious disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. But as time goes on, the chances of finding the truth are highly unlikely. What do you think happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Number 5. Human aliens. Do you believe in aliens? According to a recent poll, at least 6% of Americans truly believe at one point or another they were abducted by aliens. It's not really a hot topic in society, and why is that? Does the government know something that we don't? Or perhaps the human race just can't handle the truth? There are some incredibly talented researchers in the world that claim that aliens are not only involved in breeding experiments between humans and themselves, but they've been doing it for a very long time. And why would they want to breed with us? Some claim that the extraterrestrials might be having issues on their own planet, so they're forced to save their people/aliens. And yet another theory says the aliens are busy trying to create hybrid offspring as a way to help them take over planet Earth. Of course, there has never been any solid evidence of abductions or breeding programs with humans, but Yang-Hae Chi, an instructor at the University of Oxford in England, says and believes that aliens could actually create human and extraterrestrial hybrids for a few different reasons. One possibility is that they find our DNA quite valuable for the preservation of the stock. Secondly, they want to create species which can survive in the harsh future climate conditions, in which some believe the sea will boil and the world will burn. And thirdly, some abductees report that these hybrids are of very high intelligence, so they are producing these hybrids to solve problems later on, or a future leader. But of course, until we have proof of this, or unless any one of these human-alien hybrids come forward, we won't know for sure. Number 4. Mary Magdalene. When Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code exploded on the world, even the church was offended, but the book was nothing more than a dramatization based on the theory of Mary Magdalene being the wife of Jesus Christ. She has been celebrated by one section of Christians and downplayed by another. But when it concerns the enigma of Mary Magdalene, there is no denying she's a powerful central figure in Christianity and in the life of Jesus Christ. A Gospel of Mary dating back to the 2nd century AD, discovered in Egypt in 1896, said that Mary Magdalene was held in higher esteem and enjoyed more influence over Jesus than his disciples. One of the texts also revealed how Jesus loved Mary Magdalene above all others and would often kiss her on the blank, but that part of the manuscript appeared damaged. Many experts read it as the mouth. Nobody can agree on the exact purpose she served in the life of Jesus Christ, or even why there is so much controversy surrounding even her name. She's been called a prostitute, labeled a sinner, and some people believe that she was the wife of Jesus Christ. A rather popular belief is that the church wants to keep the truth of Mary Magdalene secret. A huge controversy involving Mary Magdalene is that many people say it wasn't Judas seated at Jesus' right at the Last Supper, it was Magdalene, meaning that she was actually the most adored of all his disciples. And this idea is extremely dangerous to the church, according to Professor Joan Taylor from King's College in London. Many religious scholars, professional historians, and archaeologists believe that Mary Magdalene held a crucial role in the life of Jesus Christ, and that the church has simply denied it for all this time, and claiming that she was just a sex worker. They claim this to try to keep women away from positions of power within the organization of the church. Because the truth is, if that Mary Magdalene had been so cherished by Jesus, it would mean that the church could have female priests. They will do anything to keep their boys' club strictly male, even going as far as manipulating truth, history, even the written word in the Bible itself. Number 3, Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Among controversial stories surrounding American presidents, none was so dramatic and revealing as that of the 3rd President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and the enslaved woman, Sally Hemings. Sally had a very special place in Jefferson's life. This is a piece of history that some people would prefer to stay hidden, but the truth usually comes out. Archaeologists recently excavated a small area of Thomas Jefferson's Monticello mansion and found the living quarters of Sally Hemings. The discovery is shedding new light on the early 1800s. According to Gardiner Halleck, the director of restoration for Jefferson's plantation, some of Sally's children may even have been born inside the newly excavated secret room. The room was adjacent to Jefferson's own bedroom. It wasn't nearly as comfortable, and it actually just went unnoticed by archaeologists and historians until just recently, though plans are now underway to restore the entire area. a historical debate rages over the president's possible affair with his slave, Sally Hemings. But many experts point out how evidence indicates that the president shared a long-term, intimate, and physical relationship with Hemings and even fathered 6 of her children. What was even more incredible was the fact that Hemings was a half-sister of Jefferson's wife, Martha Jefferson. The report of the affair between the president and his alleged concubine was denied for over 150 years by several historians. It wasn't until DNA analysis in 1998 that many began changing their tune. The results of the DNA tests conducted by Dr. Eugene Foster indicated a strong genetic link between the Jefferson and Hemings descendants. A little scandalous? I think so. Number 2, the Vatican's secret archives. Did you think the Vatican's secret archives only hold documents related to prayers and church history? Hidden beneath the holiest of all places in the Catholic region, deep in the heart of the Vatican, houses 53 miles of shelving with 1,200 years worth of secret documents. Full of iconic bastions of religion, history, and culture on Earth. There are those that believe these secret libraries don't exist, but I'm here to tell you, that's not true. They are indeed 1,000% real. Among the Vatican's secret archives exist some intriguing documents, such as those written by Galileo Galilei and bearing his signature, the Codex Vaticanus. It also has one of the oldest copies of the Bible, dating back to the 15th century, and much, much more. The Vatican's secret archives invoke the mystery of the Catholic Church, and though they may not admit it, it is also believed that several important documents related to the Church are hidden there, which the Vatican says are still being indexed, which is why they cannot be made public yet. The most significant among them are documents related to the controversial papacy of Pope Pius XII. It is also possible that documents exist that might possess embarrassing secrets about the historical popes deliberately hidden in the Vatican to avoid controversy. Even the top scholars in Catholic history need to go through an extremely rigorous vetting process before they're even allowed to step foot inside the vault. As much as the whole world would love to know all of the mysterious and secret information hoarded in this immense and holy place, in all honesty, the Vatican's secret archives will most likely never be public knowledge. Number 1, Salem witch trials. Without mystery, without controversy, and without an enigma, history would be quite boring. Am I right? Among the most infamous incidents in American history are the Salem witch trials of 1692 that unfairly convicted several young women of witchcraft, only for them to be declared innocent later on. In January 1692, 9-year-old Elizabeth and 11-year-old Abigail Williams, the niece of minister in Salem Village, suddenly began suffering epileptic fits with uncontrollable screaming. The local doctor, William Griggs, identified it as bewitchment or being possessed. Soon more girls began displaying similar symptoms, triggering a wave of fear. The girls in turn blamed a group of people for casting a spell on them. They accused Caribbean slave Tituba, a beggar, Sarah Good, and an aged woman, Sarah Osborne. Mass hysteria of demons at work spread throughout colonial Massachusetts, resulting in several courts being set up to try witches. The first accused witch, Bridget Bishop, was convicted and subsequently hanged. After that, witch specialists began a spree of trials that convicted and executed almost 150 men, women, and children in a span of just a few months. However, by September 1692, the hysteria began to reside, and public opinion began taking a turn against the trials, claiming the witch hunt to be arbitrary. Although the Massachusetts General Court later annulled guilty verdicts against accused witches and even compensated the families, it would never bring back those who died in vain. It created a huge rift and bitterness in communities, and Salem would go down in history with an infamous legacy to be known as the Salem Witch Trials. Thanks for watching. Which of these forbidden histories would you like to know more about? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these. See you next time. Bye!